Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Tuesday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Art Chat Daddy Sims. I want to welcome each and every one of you to the chat room, or as I call it, the green room. So glad to be back for another exciting evening of the top news stories, as well as entertainment stories. We're going to talk about the latest COVID-19 numbers here in the state of Illinois and across the country. Also joining us tonight is one of our favorites, family practitioner, Dr. Janet Seabrook will join us tonight. And Dr. Seabrook will give us the latest COVID updates for the Black and Brown community. As you guys all know, the Latinx community is now the highest numbers in COVID cases as well as deaths. So tonight, Dr. Janet Seabrook will talk to us about the latest update, as well as she'll talk to us about precautions we need to take with more and more places opening back up over the Memorial Day weekend. And speaking of Memorial Day weekend, Chef Lavatino Harris will stop by tonight. As you guys all know, it's the first unofficial weekend of summer, Memorial Day weekend. It's also a time when a lot of people want to cook out. And if you are tired of the same side dishes, he has some new side dishes tonight, as well as meat prices are extremely high right now. So he'll be talking about other cuts and choices of meat that you can get, and you'll get the same quality, flavor, all that great stuff. So our very special guest co-host tonight is a Chicagoan turned LA diva. Now she is in the new Hollywood of the South. She is my good friend, but most importantly, this woman is a film, television, and talent producer. When I say produce some of the most amazing combination of all three, no, none other than my good friend, the one and only Susan Reed. Hey,
Thank you so much. I appreciate being
yeah.
here. Thanks so much for
Oh,
having me.
it is a pleasure to have you here tonight, Susan. It's just nothing but an honor. And so, Susan, do me a favor, give everybody a little bit, as they said, a snippet of your life and all the things that you've been doing.
Oh my God. So I first want to thank you. You have been supportive, a supporter for years through this journey of all of these particular cities. I am currently a talent script reader with Tyler Perry Studios and producer and voiceover artist. So I have done some producing in Chicago with a couple of the directors there. Moving to LA, kind of working on the BET Awards, the Food Network, Global Spin Awards, and now here in Atlanta. So it's been going great.
Oh, wow. So, how are things down there in Atlanta? Atlanta, just like Chicago, has been experiencing a lot going on with this global
Mhm.
pandemic. And so, what has the energy and spirit of Atlanta been like through this pandemic?
Well, you know what? I'm going to be really honest with you. I've been out of the house 3 times in 2.5 months. So to be exposed on the outside of it, just for cautionary reasons, it's been interesting. Georgia opened the state up on April 24th, which were the barbershops, the bowling alleys, the nail salons, all the places that, some of us would
Right,
frequent often.
right.
And then May 1st,
Wait, wait, Susan. Some of the places we need to go badly that
so
we really, right. Yes.
so those places,
Yeah,
right?
look,
Those
I
places.
hate the fact that I'm a beauty school dropout. I
Oh
just
my
hate it. I
God.
hate the fact that I'm a beauty school dropout. So
We're not
yeah,
going to talk about the services I need right now. But anyway,
right. Yeah.
everything, the theaters and restaurants are on like a slow kind of open, which was May 1st. And then now we're, back to whatever the normalcy would be. In saying that, though, we've got about a little over 1,600 deaths for the state
Oh,
since this all started.
oh Lord,
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
Wow.
And I want to say about 38,000 or so confirmed cases.
Right.
So when the state opened up some of the particular things on April 24th, like that next weekend, we had 1,000 new cases. So I've
Mhm.
noticed that happening with Texas. You all are still on lockdown though there in Illinois, correct?
We are still on lockdown. I'll be giving you our latest numbers after you update us on Atlanta, but
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
we still on lockdown.
it's moving along as far as work for us. You know, the industry, entertainment industry, period, took a hit. So our studios closed. We wrapped a Nickelodeon show, Young Dylan, on March 9th. So that Friday, which I think was the 13th, the information came that it's shut down. So we haven't been back to work since then, and we're praying for a return. However, doing that with caution. Right now,
Right,
it's looking like tentatively July. So I know the public may have heard a lot of the studio information and news reports that the studio is planning to have us stay on the lot as we shoot, so we can't go and come. We'll be locked down there.
right.
And then Mr. Perry's, I think, authorizing us to be tested before we even start doing anything. So,
Well, you know what, Susan? Here's the deal. I'm not mad about what he would be doing and what his studio would be doing because, really, to be honest with you, I probably would have everybody tested.
yeah,
Uh, Whoever comes up, positive or whatever, you'd have to go back home, do whatever the
absolutely.
doctors tell you to do. And then
Absolutely.
for everybody who is safe, and here's the deal. God bless him for putting you all up, feeding you
Exactly.
all, still paying you all, and
Exactly.
you're going to continue to move forward and create television and films. I applaud the effort
Yes.
100%, and that truly shows somebody with some Lucchini and cash. They would be able to do that, baby. Some
He has been a
Lucchini and
blessing.
cash. You know what
He
I'm
has
saying?
been a
Right.
blessing.
Yeah. Oh,
He has been a
absolutely.
blessing. We are
Mhm.
excited. We just got confirmed that our show Sisters and the Oval are now starting for season 2. So that would be what we would be working on with the tentative dates of return. So we'll see what happens.
Wow. Well, let's do a cheers to you, my dear.
Thank
Congratulations.
you. Thank
You
you.
are working in the new Hollywood of the town. And so, what is your beverage of choice tonight, Susan?
I have sangria. Actually, I'll show you all the bottle. It's a beautiful bottle.
Oh, that
Um,
is. Oh,
yeah.
but you
So
know what, girl? That's that sangria that'll have you ripped. That's like the mad dog of sangria.
I have nothing to do but go to bed.
Oh, okay, right. This show may be really interesting
It
before this
might
goes.
be.
That
I
is,
started
it's
sipping.
a great product, but it'll have you on your earth in a
It's
minute.
all
So,
look.
yeah,
I'm
okay.
almost there.
It'll
So
have you on your earth in a minute. Well,
I wish I could share.
tonight I'm having cherries, ginger, spinach, and what else? Oh, and turmeric. And
Okay.
during the COVID last night, my co-host Philip Montgomery and I were saying that we are so fearful of having COVID. And two of the signs are losing your taste and your smell. So he and I just keep eating all day long to make sure we haven't lost our taste. So we just eat. So now I'm drinking a
Don't do that. You did
I'm
good
drinking
tonight.
right. I'm trying to stay regular, so I'm
You
drinking a smoothie tonight. So
I'm gonna keep you in my prayers, babe.
please
Awesome.
do. For these smoothies, oh yeah, but
I've
it's okay.
started.
It's good.
Yes. Good,
All right.
good, good. So what's going on there? Tell me a little bit
Oh my
about
God.
there.
So the
I
latest
miss you
COVID.
all there.
Oh my God, we miss you here as well too. The city overall has done a great job of behaving. Our crime rate has been down. As
Excellent.
far as people following guidelines and rules, they for the most part have been doing that. Of course, you've
Excellent.
had a few knuckleheads who have,
Of course.
gone out and hosted parties and things like that.
The 1,000 people party, right?
Honey, but then here's the deal. I'm starting to see other races of people do it now on television, on the news. When they opened Wisconsin up, they went to a Billy Bob bar, and at Billy Bob's bar, they was cutting up and acting a fool. So I get it. We all do want to be out and enjoy the weather, and but for the most part, people have been doing a great job here. Unfortunately, people are now wanting to call our governor Hitler for making us want to stay in the
What?
house. Oh yeah, people,
Oh,
yeah, anti-Semitic and just ridiculous in many different ways of just how the man is trying to look out for our overall health, safety,
absolutely,
and well-being.
absolutely.
You know,
Especially being one
so
of the larger cities in the country. You know what I mean?
that is
You don't
true.
want the numbers to keep spiking. You just really
Yes.
don't.
Yes, absolutely. Well, here's the deal. I want to give the latest numbers for the state of Illinois.
Okay.
Today, the newest update, Governor Pritzker says that now the state of Illinois is leading the nation in per capita daily COVID-19 testing as officials reported 1,545 new known cases. And unfortunately, Susan, we had 146 more deaths. And yesterday we only had maybe 58, 59. And I was thinking, okay, not bad. We hate for
Right.
anybody to lose their life.
Exactly.
But 58 is not as high as 150 a day
Exactly.
or in all of that. And so that's where we are currently right now with that.
I'm hoping the curve is flattening for everybody, honestly, because
Yeah.
states are so confused about, how people are open, how people are closed, if folks can travel, and it's just so many precautions that everyone is trying to figure out and trying to adhere to, and it gets exhausting,
Yeah.
but you want to make sure everybody stays as safe as possible.
Now, Susan, I do have a question.
Yes,
How
sir.
soon? How soon do you think you'll be jet setting again? It's not honey. It's not uncommon for you to call me and say, "Listen, 9 o'clock tonight, I'll be in your city. I'll be at your house tomorrow for lunch." So
That's
when,
how we
when?
do.
Yeah, oh, that's how we do, boo. But when do you think you'll be jet setting again?
Honestly, the prices for tickets and travel, I've been looking at Southwest a lot. So they've got the $49 and $99 tickets that you can check. So I actually have been checking it out, but I have a paranoia. I want to go see folks, but then stuff's not open. So it will literally be a situation of me visiting to come and visit with someone in their house because we can't do anything. So I
Right.
wanted to make that be, because the holiday, like you said, is next weekend.
No, it's this week, this coming weekend. That
Monday,
right,
Friday,
right,
right.
right. Yes,
So
and that's what a lot of people are not even realizing that Memorial Day weekend is this coming weekend. You talking about a suck year? It's 2020 because people are like, wait a minute, the
so
Memorial
true.
holiday is when?
So true.
Yeah, look, let's drink the sucky year
So
so far.
cheers. Yes.
Hmm.
It's been terrible.
Cheers. I know, isn't that
And
just
I'm
horrible?
usually I come and hang out with you for Chosen Few and the Silver and
Right.
Black Park, the
Yes.
Hyde Park Festival. I just found out that's shut down until
Oh yeah.
2021.
Yes, all of that shut down, and they're announcing more and more events every day. And see,
This
the
is crazy.
other piece is everybody's holding their breath, waiting for them to say what they're gonna do about Lollapalooza. There is no way in
No,
hell they're gonna be able to have
no,
no Lollapalooza.
absolutely not.
They just don't
Absolutely
want to.
not.
They don't want to say anything right now about it because, of course, all these young people are graduating. Young people have had a lot of disappointment this year, just period,
Absolutely.
school and everything.
More than probably
Right,
normal.
right.
So
So here's the deal. I would wait last minute and be like, ain't gonna be no Lollapalooza, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, just I know it sounds horrible, but I definitely would do that just to. But there will not be any Lollapalooza. Oh, thank you so much. Drinking
yay,
champagne for
Layla.
that.
That's my
Yeah.
LA family.
Oh, that's so beautiful. It really
Thank
is.
you guys.
All
Well,
right.
see, here's the thing too. I wanted to find out because if we're going through the summer being practically canceled, I guess the travel situation would be more fall holiday time, which is a good time to travel.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I'm praying as far as us with work that it doesn't extend into that because then I'll still be grounded.
Oh, that is
That's the
true.
issue, right? So
That is,
that's my
that is
issue.
true. Okay,
That's my
very
issue.
good. All right, well, we're going to continue on with our daily news stories. For those of you all that are just joining us, welcome to the Chat Daddy, the real Chat Daddy show, right here on Facebook each and every Monday through Thursday night from 7 until 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can always watch this show on the Real Chat Daddy Show Facebook page. It is a page dedicated strictly for this new show. You can also watch the show on Art Chat Daddy Sims page. That's That's Art Chat Daddy Sims. And if you're a friend of mine, you can watch on the Art Sims page. But guess what? We're also on YouTube. And all you have to do is put
Awesome.
in The Real Chat Daddy Show on YouTube. You can watch the show live there, or you can always go back for encore performances of the show. And then don't forget the realchatdaddy.com is my interactive website where you can see the show there as well as find out about other events and activities that I'll be having virtually through this time as well as after this time is over. Our co-host tonight is film, television, and talent producer Susan Reed. She's coming to us live tonight from the new Hollywood of the South. The hot Atlanta, where my good friend Ludacris just did a
Yep. Good.
COVID-19 testing for the
Yep.
community,
Yep.
and he
And he's
also had that
amazing.
wonderful battle. He is. He's one of the most genuine people I know, just
He's
down
amazing.
to earth. And he won that battle the other night
You
on
saw
Instagram.
right.
Team Luda, baby. Team Luda. Team Luda.
Ludo.
Team Luda. I've been
Exactly.
Team Luda for a long time, so
I
don't y'all
know.
play with me. Really,
I
don't play
know.
with me.
I'm
Yes,
so proud of you, sir. Great job.
yes,
I'm
yes,
so proud of you.
absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. Susan, you got something else in the news you want to bring up tonight,
Well,
too?
I was seeing, just kind of looking at, when you're doing all your social media stuff. Are you familiar with Pauly D?
I am. I am familiar. Pauly D was one of the originals on the Jersey
Jersey
Shore.
Shore.
And
Yeah.
Pauly D even had a little prison time under his belt, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right about
Yep, you're
that?
absolutely right. You're absolutely
Well,
right.
I heard that Pauly D shut down the internet this past weekend.
That's why we talking about it.
Well, let's talk about Pauly D. What did Pauly D do?
Look, so, in these quarantine times, we're all kind of single and isolated from one another. So, he's a cute guy. You know what I'm saying? If that's your thing, if that's your type. But he posted, like, it's like 3 seconds. It's only 3 seconds. Um, he's grown out the beard for all the ladies that
Hmm.
love the beard gang, and he's tanned. I don't know how that happened. You know.
Right,
Uh,
but keep in mind, he's Italian.
that's
He is
it.
he is Italian. He's probably Sicilian.
That's
Uh,
it.
don't forget that when they tan and when they groom themselves a certain way, and not being disrespectful, they can look like our cousins.
That look.
Yeah, right, right. And then
Internet
if
saying that the black women are ready to risk it all. They trying to get at them.
Well, now here's the deal. When I saw the picture of Paulie D, I said to myself, I said, "Damn, who is that?" And he really, I mean, he has transformed himself. He's always had a great body. I'm sure, while he was in prison, he developed what they call
Yeah,
the prison body.
right.
And so, if he keep that tan right and that haircut right, oh yeah, they'll be after him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay. He's
yeah.
got a 7-year-old now. He's 39 years old. So we're going to see what risk it all means. What is that? Risk it all for
Well,
Pauly D.
I don't know what would be risking it all. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. That's the question. I was trying to figure. I'm like, all right, so we talking black women or we talking black girls?
Oh,
Women might be a little hard up too right about now, but
well, okay, so that's my question. Would you, if Paulie D came on set, to film a movie, and Paulie D saw you, doing what you do on set, would you, holler, or would you let Paulie D holler at you? I ain't gonna put you like that. Right?
yeah,
Would you let
right,
Paulie? Right,
right.
right, right.
He can
Would
holler. We
you
would talk business. He can holler.
always call
I'm
business?
always very cordial and inviting for the business. Definitely, definitely.
Okay. So him being, Paulie D, him being 39, him having that little past like that wouldn't bother you at all?
Wouldn't bother me. Wouldn't bother me.
Okay.
It's
It would.
not technically it's not my type now. So let's make
Okay.
sure we understand. You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? But
Right.
it been a quarantine, so a lot of us have gone without some things for a while. I'm keeping my
Right.
self respect about myself.
Right. Amen. We'll have to ask Dr. Janet Seabrook later how she
Please do.
feels about, us in relationships and sex after this. So
Absolutely. Definitely.
All right, well, Paulie D, you got the sisters wanting to holler at you. So good luck to you, Paulie D. Do what you need to do, and
Absolutely.
so said. Well, Susan, I have some really sad news to report.
What?
As you guys know, a couple of weeks ago, Babyface actually battled Teddy Riley, and everybody was saying how great Babyface looks at the age of what is it, 63
Yeah,
years old.
63.
Well, unfortunately, his brother, R&B singer Melvin Edmonds, a member of the group After Seven, and the brother of superstar Kenny Babyface Edmonds, has died at the age of 65. He died on Saturday after co-founder Kenneth Mitchell confirmed on the group's Facebook page Monday.
Wow.
The cause of death has not been revealed yet. As you guys all know, After Seven rose to fame back in the 90s with the hit song Can't Stop, Ready or Not, and Heat of the Moment. All three of those is my
I'm
song.
so sorry
I
to
love
hear
all
that.
of them.
Yeah.
The group was founded back in 1987 by Melvin Edmonds, his brother Kayvon, and Mitchell. So, yes, one of the singers of
Wow.
After Seven is no longer around. You know what I'm saying?
That's bad.
Isn't that
Definitely
sad?
bad.
So our condolences go out to the family. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
All
right.
right, Susan, you got something else you want to talk about in Hot Topics and Entertainment or
I
any of
do.
it? Yes.
Since we are definitely talking about the seriousness of COVID and all of this, all of the information and the deaths and things that are happening in our country and unemployment and stuff like that. So I want to talk about these stimulus checks. You
Baby.
know what I'm saying?
Yes. I think every guest I've had on wants to talk about these stimulus checks. So are you pro stimulus check? Are you against stimulus check? And bottom line, do you need another stimulus check?
So I think we all as Americans should have another stimulus check. Should definitely have it.
I agree.
Especially when you start looking at comparatives with the other countries, we are so behind the eight ball. So this was my thought process. You give an individual $1,200, and they're paying rent. That's $1,100 a month.
That's a
As
hundred
opposed to,
dollars. That's right. Right.
with people losing their jobs and everything that's happening, that's nothing. That's
Right.
just that's it's almost insulting.
Right.
So the issue for me is hearing that the House has tentatively, I think they passed to do stimulus a second round last Friday. However, it's on hold, so we'll see how that goes. And if we are going to be so blessed to receive another, I think it's another $1,200, but they're giving additional money for each additional dependent, up to three though. So if you got three kids, you get another. Yeah. So
Well, all I know is that this economy is not going to come back as quick as they think it's going to come back. A lot of people are really hurting
absolutely.
and need the help. Unemployment in certain situations has not come through like a lot of us thought it would have come through. A lot of waiting, yet still, a lot of just
Yep.
trying to get on the website just to verify. A lot of, it's almost trying to find a needle in a
It's
haystack.
exactly that. It's
It really
exactly
is.
that.
And so many people have lost their jobs that it's just astronomical the amount of
It
people.
is.
And so
Yeah.
that's why, in your situation, Susan, with your employer saying, we would like you to come back, we want everybody to be tested, and then for them to put everybody up in the work environment, I think that is just the most
That's
absolutely
a blessing.
wonderful
It
thing
is.
ever. Yes,
It
it really
is.
is.
It
It is.
is. It is.
Um, Go ahead.
No, no, you go. Go.
Oh,
Because we'll be talking.
somebody asked about my drink tonight. So my drink is cherries, turmeric, ginger, and spinach mixed in coconut milk. So this is a smoothie. This is a regulator. This is this to keep everything flowing and moving. Yeah, that's what this is.
Is that your name for it? The
Mm,
regulator?
it's the regulator, right?
Got it.
When I was younger, it was the percolator. Now I drink the regulator. Right. This is a commercial. Right. So that's what it is. Right.
Gotcha.
So yes. Uh-huh.
Gotcha.
Right. Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes. So let me talk about doing good deeds. Magic Johnson, NBA legend Magic Johnson, has come in to assist big time. He is now going to be offering grants to women-owned and minority-owned businesses that have been heavily impacted by COVID-19. His insurance company, Equitrust Life Insurance Company, will be putting up $1 million for
Nice.
fantastic companies that were not a part of the stimulus package. A lot of people applied for those stimulus packages. Hello.
Yeah.
I know a lot of other people who did, small independent business owners, and honey, we ain't heard nothing
Yeah.
from them people.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure our applications went in the garbage, as they would say. You know what I'm saying?
Well, with
So,
everything so backed up, though, that's it's problematic even trying to coordinate stuff with some of the businesses because things are closed and you can't talk to anybody. You can't go into some of these particular facilities to check on stuff or do business. It makes it very difficult. So some of the
right.
small businesses that probably applied, they may just be on standby. And I'm hoping again with this second round that's being discussed that the blessing will come because it's needed.
Well, the one thing that I love about doing this show every night is I want to provide my audience as many opportunities as possible to learn about new ways to generate income, new ways to be more visible
Definitely.
to the public. We are now living in a world where nothing will ever be the same. I,
Absolutely.
I said a couple of weeks ago on this show, Susan, that once they open downtown areas back up, and people having to go back to work. Think about just how people would have to get in elevators to even go to the floors they work on in these buildings. Think about just a 12 o'clock lunch break for everybody is not going to work anymore. Just think about if you were in an office and there was not 6 feet of space between your cubicle and your coworker's cubicle, then all of that's going to change now. So
Absolutely.
people are going to have to be able to pay to live. If not, this entire damn country needs to file bankruptcy.
Yep.
Everybody. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, and the thing of it is, too, I believe strongly that most of the companies are going to continue just to allow the work from home. I know Google said that they've passed it for the rest of the year.
Yes.
So that they can avoid that because it's so many, again, just precautions and safety measures that you
Right.
would have to do to get your offices to come back.
Well, Twitter told everybody to stay at home. Twitter
Right,
told
I think I heard,
everybody,
yeah,
honey, Twitter said, y'all ain't got to come back. Just stay at home. Tweet from home like the
that's
president
it.
does. Right.
That's it.
Just do like the president. Just tweet from your toilet every day, but just
That's
keep the company running. That's all right. That's all you got
exactly.
to do. That's the
That's
bottom
it.
line. That is. Well,
That's it.
we are hoping that people are able to get other financial assistance that they need and the help that they need. And we'll see how that all works out. Well, Susan, are you a chocolate lover?
Definitely. What kind of chocolate are we talking about?
Well, I don't know what kind of chocolate you need, baby. What kind of chocolate you need, boo? Right.
Yes.
I was talking about the cocoa powder kind of chocolate. That kind of
Yes,
any
sir.
any other chocolate. That's my late night show, not this one. So today is National Devil's Food Day.
I
Devil's
wish
Food
I'd have
Day.
known.
Yes, today is National Devil Food Cake Day, and a lot of people don't realize it, but it's a decadent dessert. And actually, the devil food cake recipe actually calls for hot or boiling water. And a lot of people will be surprised about that because that's what helps makes the chocolate boil and give it its flavor.
Really?
It calls for hot water. I bet you a lot of people end up using cake mix to make their devil's food cake. But really,
Exactly.
if you use a genuine recipe of making a devil's food cake, it requires hot or boiling water
Okay.
to actually make it. And some people actually even put coffee in it to give it a really distinctive flavor. And of course, devil's food cake must have decadent chocolate icing on it as well too. So yes, and then guess what? The first devil food recipe was created August 10th, 1898, and it was in a town in Hagerstown, Indiana, is where Devil's Food Cake was created.
I wonder where that name comes from.
You know what? I was wondering that as well too, and I'm probably gonna have to look it up and see. But
Yeah, we're gonna have to check that.
I grew up with a guy, God rest his soul, he's no longer alive, but his grandmother would not let the family eat anything that had devil in it. So he could never eat devil's food cake. He could never eat deviled
Deviled
eggs.
eggs.
Never eat deviled ham. Anything that represented even hot sauce. If it said the devil on there, he said that his grandmother always told him that was a trick that the devil was trying to, make him in.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
honey, them old folk tales. Them old, them old,
A
them
lot of
old.
those down here in the South,
Oh,
baby.
I know. So I just find that so interesting. But yes, today is National Devil's Food Cake Day. So go out and get you guys some Devil's Food Cake and enjoy.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
One of my favorite retailers has announced that they will be closing all of their remaining stores throughout the country.
I saw that.
550 to 540 stores after 58 years. Pier 1
One
Import
imports. I saw
will
that.
not be around anymore. Look, listen. Pier
I'm
One
gonna hurt.
Import. Look. Wait a minute. This is where we all got our furniture. Your first apartment.
Exactly.
You
Oh
understand
my
me?
God.
Right. Right.
The candles, the furniture, the pillow chairs with the wicker on them, all of that. So I
Mhm.
saw that. I saw that. That's a little sad.
Wow.
I wonder,
I
they could have probably made it like an online shopping experience though.
Yeah, but you know what? I think that what the problem with Pier One has become Amazon, being able to order things from any and everywhere. I believe that's the problem of of what has happened. I don't know.
It's
I hate
so
to
sad.
to just know Pier One Imports is not around anymore. You
Because
know?
that's where we would go, Pier 1 or Crate and Barrel.
Oh,
So,
are you kidding me? Some of my favorite items,
yeah,
the Papa San chairs.
yeah,
Uh, anytime you wanted decor that was unique and different, I used to get gift sets from Pier One. They had
definitely.
fragrances, bath stuff. So I mean, I just cannot believe that Pier One Imports is no longer in existence.
I saw that. I saw it today, and I was just like, "Oh no, we can't." But it's
I
so
know,
many. I've been hearing a few things that are closing their doors permanently, and
right?
and I
Uh-huh.
would imagine that sales were down before pandemic,
Hmm.
but I'm sure this has escalated that. You know what I mean?
Right,
So,
right. Yeah. I don't know. Well,
when's the last
Susan.
time you went to Pier 1?
Well, before all of this happened,
Because
because
there
we
was
had.
one in Hyde Park in Chicago. Remember that on
Oh,
53rd?
yeah, that was years ago though. That was I
Yep.
used to love that Pier One.
Yep.
There was one down at Roosevelt Collection on Roosevelt
Yep.
Road. They ended up closing that store. But whenever I was in an area and there was a Pier One available, I enjoy going into Pier One. Not that I need anything else in my house, but a lot of times you would find just great things on
And it
sale
would
at Pier One.
smell
Oh, the
amazing,
smell.
baby.
Oh, always, always. Well, Susan, you are doing something to help people during COVID to help and build their brand and to help get them, hopefully, to somebody like Tyler Perry or somebody. So, what are you doing? And tell us all about it.
Well, and it's a take on the stimulus package situation. So,
Okay.
I created an opportunity for some of the industry creatives, writers, and actors, where I offered the services that I do typically when I'm in the studio, for a minimal fee. And that includes providing some script coverage for them if they've written a script, which is basically proofing and making sure it's formatted correctly, things of that nature. If actors and talent wanted to run lines, you could do all that with me and set it up basically either to do like Zoom meetings and or like Instagram meetings, and for those that know me personally, FaceTime meetings. So it's been going quite well. I was trying to do that until I actually went back to set later this summer. So I've hopefully blessed some people. Of course, people um, are challenged sometimes when you provide them notes, but after reading so many scripts and even doing this before I got to the studio, you kind of get adjusted to how things should flow. And
Right,
particularly with newer artists, just providing them the ability if they want to pitch their script later to someone or share or create their own independent film, which I did a lot of in Chicago. So
right.
it's been going well. It's been going well. So that's been my little side hustle blessing,
Okay.
for me to actually be a blessing,
Right, right.
to us in the industry. Because yes, when stuff shut down, everything shut down.
All right. Well, by the end of the show, you can tell everybody how they can be a part of this if they want to join, and you can help them and they can help you out.
Absolutely. What do you got going on?
Well, we'll talk about that in just a little bit. Dr. Janet
Okay,
Seabrook is here, and we want to bring her in. We just
come
love and
on.
adore her,
Absolutely.
and we know she is so busy. Let's see if we can bring her in. Is she there, Dr.
She,
Janet? Hello, is she there?
I
She can't
see
hear me
her.
now. Let me see. I do too. Let's see if she's here. Dr. Janet, are you there? Can you hear me? Uh-oh, she can't hear me for
She's
some
smiling
reason.
though.
Me.
I know she said
I
he's
can hear you,
smiling.
Susan, very well.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Well, very good.
it's chat daddy. I cannot hear. It's broken up.
Okay, very good. Well, Susan, for the sake of time, tell Dr. Janet Seabrook to
I'm
tell
trying to
everybody who
adjust.
she is. And
This
let's
is
talk
not my
about
usual spot.
that's all right. And let's talk about the latest in the COVID numbers. Tell her to just go ahead and start talking.
Sure. Well, welcome to the show, Dr. Seabrook. We are so happy to have you tonight. We are interested in what you can tell us about COVID-19.
There is so much going on. It's mind blowing how many new symptoms and issues that are going on with COVID-19 right now. So I don't even know where to start.
Yeah, that's probably we probably need to be real specific, chat, because you know.
Well, how are numbers looking in the black and brown community at this point? Uh-oh, did I lose her?
Are you with us?
Okay, wait a minute, I'm losing
I'm
her.
here.
Okay.
I have too much going on right now.
Right. Do you want us to
I'm
come
trying
back
to do
after
too much.
after does she want us to come back
Yes,
to her in
I'm
just a
here.
little bit?
Do
Oh,
you want to
can you
go?
hear
Do you want to go?
can you hear us?
Um, so let me start with the children because that was the biggest thing last week.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
we really need to be concerned about what's going on with the children. Parents need to be very focused on making sure that, hold on making sure that their children don't have any rashes, fevers, or things that are showing up on their body that are unusual.
Definitely.
Because what we're seeing now is a post-COVID reaction, similar to a Kawasaki disease, which is very rare in children. And so we're asking patients and the parents to make sure that they're looking for those rashes after the children have had COVID disease and successfully recovered, and you believe that they're okay. And we're looking at 2 or 3 years down, I'm sorry, 2 or 3 weeks down the road post COVID when they're coming up with these other symptoms, vasculitis, problems with the heart, swollen tongues, rashes over the body. So we're just asking parents to be very careful.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Susan, can you ask the doctor about the president today and him wanting to take the drug? He's saying
The
that he
other
takes the
thing
drug.
that's really problematic right now
Oh,
is that many people are wanting to get back out. They're wanting to get back to work, go back to restaurants, being entertained, and things like that. But I still do not believe that we have enough testing available so we know who's positive and who's
Mhm.
negative. If you're still positive, you need to still be on self quarantine. If you're negative, then you can go back to work. But if we aren't doing targeted testing and we know who's positive then we're really going to find ourselves, I believe, and this is my belief personally, in 3 or 4 weeks down the line, probably with some escalating cases in certain places.
Well, Dr. Seabrook, I do have a question for individuals that are reporting that they're asymptomatic and don't have any symptoms, and then may go get tested and test positive. At that point, with the time frame of the 2 to 3 week period, how many people can be affected by that? You know what I'm saying? It makes it difficult if you don't have symptoms to even want to go get tested.
So that's the dilemma right there. And the dilemma is that people don't know if they are positive or not.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a testing, 4-day testing of asymptomatic people in Indiana. Last Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Okay.
And because we were posting on Facebook, there were a lot of people that had a lot of questions as to why they should test if they were asymptomatic. And my simple explanation to them was, asymptomatic people can spread the virus. They're doing a lot of viral shedding all throughout the community. So if we don't know that you're positive because you're asymptomatic, that's something that we need to know to help stop community spread. The more people who are in the community that are asymptomatic, that are going about their daily lives and they return to work, they go to restaurants, grocery stores, pharmacies, bars, wherever, they're taking that viral spread with them.
Mm-hmm.
And then anybody that comes into contact with them has the possibility to take it back into their workplace or to take it into their home.
Wow. And then those would be the individuals that catch it immediately and show the symptoms that.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about people with chronic diseases, children with chronic diseases, children who've had cancer, adults who've had cancer, your grandparents bringing it back into the home. And it's those patients that we want people to think about, the asymptomatic. And I use that argument to try to get people who are asymptomatic or thought that they didn't have any need to test, to convince them to get tested.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wow.
is the medicine, I think it's the hydro, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Is
Right.
that
You're fine. You're fine. Just don't take it.
Well, but
Just don't
Susan,
take it.
wait, but
It's a
Susan,
medication that it's an anti-malarial. Okay,
okay.
so
Oh my
first
God.
and foremost, we need to save it for people who are traveling or suffering with malaria. That's number one. Number two is used to treat people who have lupus.
Oh my
And
God.
so we don't need to take people who have lupus, who are already vulnerable. We don't need to take their medication from them. We don't need to make it harder for them to have to get their medications, which makes them vulnerable and more susceptible to having COVID. What if there's some place where their local pharmacy that typically sends them their medications can't send it to them because they don't have it, and they have to go to a pharmacy that's farther out? They're putting themselves at risk for exposure to COVID-19 by not being able to get their medications delivered to their home and take them on a regular basis for their lupus. So I'm asking people to not take hydroxychloroquine.
Okay.
It is a medication that, if it is used, it should be used under circumstances with highly trained and highly qualified medical professionals in the ICU for patients that are in dire straits and there are really no other treatment options for them. That is the only way that medication should be used in someone who has COVID. There is no proof that hydroxychloroquine prevents COVID-19. Zero.
Wow.
Absolutely none.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And so then technically we can
So there are
say
so
that,
many,
yeah,
there are more questions than people have answers for. So
okay,
I believe that a part of my job and my responsibility is to help answer some of those questions.
okay,
We can do the basics. We still need to be doing the basics, which is social distance, wearing our
Mm-hmm.
masks when we go outside and when we're in public, um, washing our hands, 20 seconds, hot water, okay? So hand
yeah,
sanitizer if we can't get to any water. We still should be practicing not touching our face and cough and cough. And
got
so
it.
I think that if we continue with those basics, it will make it a lot easier for us to make that transition back into public life.
Okay.
But it's going to have to be done with targeted testing of asymptomatic people.
Thank you so much. And I guess that would be my question with some of the cities and states exercising so many different ways of opening the city and having, communities kind of regroup into this thing. And it not really being a vaccine is just how long do we continue to practice this? Like, is this just the life now? Is this what we're going to be doing for the rest of, you know what I mean?
Until there's a vaccine, we're going to
Wow.
have to continue to practice this. Think about school, elementary schools. How are you going to tell a 6-year-old and a 9 or 10-year-old to social distance? This is
Right.
going to be very difficult.
It is. It
Yeah.
is. It is.
I mean, even if we reduce the class sizes and we only have 10 children in a class and one teacher, what about when they go into that hallway? What does the lunchroom look like? Or
Mhm.
now everybody's stuck eating lunch in class and going to the bathroom one at a time.
Mhm.
There's so many things that we aren't really thinking about.
It's true. And it's almost like because of our nature to just do certain things, it doesn't come to mind that now you have to stop doing that.
We're
You
gonna
have
go
to,
somewhere, we go.
right,
We jump in our
exactly.
car, we pack our family up, and we go where we. And now they're telling you one person, one cart, and one person per family with a cart in the grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want you to bring, 5 or 6 people with you to the grocery store. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
what does the movie theater look like? What does the
Zero.
cruise ship look like? What does
Mm-hmm.
college look like? All these big buildings that we have, where we have people sitting on top of each other at desks in these huge skyscrapers.
Mm-hmm.
It's just mind-boggling when you really
It
sit down and think
is.
about
It
it.
is. It is, Dr.
This
Seaver.
has to be a slow and measured ease back into the community. Because if we rush and really don't think it out, we're going to see another spike.
I
Now, there's
agree.
going to be higher numbers. If we're starting to do more community testing, then of course we're going to see an increase in the number of positive patients, especially if we're testing asymptomatic.
Exactly. Exactly.
Mhm.
And that's one of the things that I'm talking about. So even with us talking the potential of us going back to work, like our
Susan,
school. Yes.
there's a question on the screen.
I see
Tell
there's a
Dr. Jeff.
question someone's asking about
What about
what
those
about
that
those
had the
who had the
virus?
virus? Can they get it? And so, because this virus is so new, we really are not sure if you will not be able to get COVID-19 again, even after forming antibodies. So that's what all of the studies and research are looking at right now as we're trying to create a vaccine. So we're looking at how long will those antibodies last that you form when you are suffering with COVID and you have recovered. So that will determine if we need 1 shot or 2 shots for the vaccine.
Gotcha.
So those are some of the things that those questions will be answered as we get to study the disease and we know the disease a lot better.
Thank you.
Wow. Well, Susan, you and I both had talked about relationships and meeting people. I'm not putting your
Susan, I
business
can't
out
hear
there.
what Chat Daddy is saying. Can you help me?
Tell her she will. So ask her about us dating at this point. Right now I'm a part-time lover, but I might want to try to find me a full-time lover. So ask her what we need to do.
So Chad and I were talking just about, singles and relationships and what we need to do, or if we need to do anything.
Sorry.
Maybe this is time to do anything. These are questions we need to know because people are.
It's a serious question. I'm laughing, but it's a serious question.
It is very serious.
Right. So
you have to think about it. You both have to know that you're negative.
It's almost like HIV all over again.
If you're not sheltering in place together,
right?
If they're sheltering in place at their place and you're at your place, who are they coming into contact with? Where do they work at? So there's so many questions that come into play, especially if it's someone that you don't know and you've met someplace and you're not really sure. So you would really need to know their status.
Okay.
Yep.
Seriously,
Yep.
maybe both of you will go and get tested together.
Yes, I agree.
That's a date.
It is.
I know it's a serious question though, because you have people that are at home. They're lonely. They're missing friends. They're missing family. So maybe that online relationship might have to be stretched out a little longer. Maybe FaceTime. You fix the same dinner and you sit there at the table and eat it together and watch each other on FaceTime. Maybe you might watch the same television, Netflix and chill, watch the same show. I don't know.
This is unbelievable.
It is, isn't it?
This is unbelievable. And I applaud you. Thank you so much. I've got so many questions, but I know that would take over the entire show. We talked about the face mask and all of that. Some people are wearing them, some people aren't. I'm hearing different reports that if you have them on,
as the summer goes on and it gets warmer, it gets uncomfortable. And you're speaking to somebody that had to hold retractors and surgery with a face mask and a shield on and glasses as a resident, for a 2 or 3 hour surgery. So just imagine doing that in the summertime. Yeah.
I applaud you.
Susan, ask Dr. Seabrook about her testing efforts that her clinic has been doing across northern Indiana, and how's it going, and that whole thing.
Sure.
We want to congratulate her on testing. So tell her that.
Chat wants to kind of find out how you all have been doing with testing around Northwest Indiana. Have things been going well? People kind of maintaining the whole social distancing to avoid as much as possible of catching it, and what you've been doing in the community aside from what you always do to just kind of make us a little bit more safe in your area.
So what we've been doing, initially we posted a huge stop sign at each one of our clinic doors, and we asked patients to stop. And then we had the 5 signs and symptoms on the door. And we asked, if you have these symptoms, please turn around and go to your vehicle. And we will contact you, or you contact us. So that helped a lot. We also stationed someone at each door with a thermometer to check temperatures. We asked that patients not bring their whole family with them when they come to an appointment. Okay. So we try to restrict the number of people that were in each one of our locations. We also started doing a lot of telehealth.
Wow.
And so we had to upload that virtual Zoom call to patients very quickly. But what we're finding, the quickest uptake were our behavioral health patients. Because right now people are suffering with a lot of anxiety
Yes.
because of, the economic situation,
Yes.
a lot of depression, some domestic violence.
Wow.
So they were the first ones to really adapt. And our behavioral health team has been excellent. So
Great.
by doing that and making that offer of telehealth, we were then able to focus on directing patients where they should go if they felt they had symptoms of COVID. And fortunately for us, we had a relationship with our hospital that is very closely located to several of our locations,
Okay.
and they were doing free testing. And we could direct the patients to the hospital. They would sit outside of the hospital. The testing would be done outside. And then the samples, materials would be brought back inside and sent down to the state lab. And so that has really helped to reduce the spread of COVID in doctors' offices. And so then the next step was to really educate our staff. Yes, we have the PPE, the personal protective equipment for you when you're here at work. But we need for you to be mindful when you go home and to other places in the community and practice the social distancing. Because if not, then you're going to bring it inside the health center.
Exactly.
So it was just, repeating ourselves over and over again, not only to the patients, but to our staff. And it's just continued education.
So, Dr. Seabrook, I know there are several ways. It's the nose swab, the mouth swab, and then I heard recently that they can do like a blood test or something.
Okay, so let me break this down for you. The most accurate is the nasopharyngeal swab.
Okay.
That's the one that people say it's almost in their brain. Yeah, that's the one.
That's the one I'm scared of.
That's the one that is preferable.
Okay.
As you go down to the mouth, there are less viral particles there to sample because it likes the nose and the back of the throat.
Got it.
So when you're in just the oral cavity, you don't get as many viral samples to run the test.
Okay.
Now, the blood is for antibody. Will tell you if you have been exposed and if you have recovered from COVID. The problem with those tests right now is they're not that accurate. Okay?
Really?
So you need to know if you are positive. Okay? That's what you need to know first with the nasopharyngeal swab. Then, like I said, if you're positive, you self-quarantine. If you're negative, then you can move about your way back to work. So this is going to be a challenge for everyone. Now, there is another test that is a quick test. And I saw
just saw that. Yeah, I just saw it.
That quick test. It was a rush to market. Okay, so there still needs to be some tweaking with that test.
Okay. And so basically the testing, it's one more. So the time frame is it 24 hours once it's sent in, once you all do it to get results?
72 hours.
72 hours.
The test to have it right now are 48 to 72.
Okay.
Now think about it, when all this first started, it was almost 10 days, 7 to 10 days.
Okay.
So we at least got
advancement
down to something more reasonable where people are 2 to 3 days wondering if they're positive versus, almost 2 weeks waiting to find out, and they have to stay at home and self-quarantine that entire time. And that's leading to anxiety.
There was a question about
wearing
the mask and breathing.
There was a question about the mask.
Yeah, and if
a
you
lot
can't
of people,
okay. Hey, Karen.
are
Yeah, what
not
happens?
used to that.
Yeah, what
And
happens when it's hard
it's,
to breathe?
we think, and this is just doctors, are thinking it's more of just the thought of having something on your face
Mm-hmm.
for an extended period of time. Because we don't seem to complain when we wear scarves in the wintertime and we cover up our face and our nose, especially if we're in Chicago, windy city. But we know that as soon as we get into the car and it's warm enough, we're going to take it off. Or as soon as we walk into the building, we're going to take it off. And I think it's just the mindset of having something on your face for an extended period of time. If you're at home, you don't need a mask. The
Right.
funniest thing to me right now is seeing people in their car by themselves with a
With the
mask
mask
on.
on.
You know, you
I've
don't
been watching that too. It's a lot happening of that in Georgia because, like I said, the state's open. So I see that like the few times I've been out, like, hold on. Yeah,
you're like you're driving, you're in the car by yourself. You don't need
yeah,
a mask.
yeah.
But I keep mine right on the little console, and then sometimes I forget to grab it, so I have another one in my purse, and I'll put that on. But the what we need to do is try not to be out as much. You
That's
know,
what I said.
limit the amount of time and the amount of trips. You know, go get the gas, fill the tank up. You
Right.
know, gas is
That's what
cheap now.
I said.
Fill the tank up.
Exactly.
Go to the grocery store and try
We
to
never
shop for
do
the
it.
whole
Whole
week,
month.
2 weeks
Yep.
if you can.
Yep.
You know, and just limit the time that you're out and exposing because you increase your risk.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you
All
so
right,
So,
much.
Susan, tell Dr. Seabrook to close out like she normally would. How can we find her, follow her, all that great stuff?
Did you hear him?
I did
No,
not.
she didn't. Go ahead.
So chat wants you to tell us how to find you and close out like you always do, and so that we can share this wonderful information that
I
you've given
missed
us
you.
today.
I love you. Don't worry. Next show. You'll be back.
So
Tell us you'll be
Yeah,
you can
back.
find me at drjanetseabrook.com. That's my webpage.
all
And I'm on
together.
Facebook. Yeah, drjanetseabrook.com all together.
Got it.
You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube now,
Excellent.
Pinterest,
Excellent.
and Google.
Perfect.
So
That's
I'm
right.
available all through social media.
So everyone that's listening, drjanetseabrook.com. She is on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, and Google. So her full name, no spaces.com. And we appreciate and love her for providing us this information tonight. Thank you so, so much.
You're
Stay
so
Yeah.
very
safe. You stay
welcome.
safe. You stay
I
safe.
will stay safe, but I will ask everybody
Yeah.
else to stay safe, stay healthy, because your health matters.
Thank you.
Yeah. We love
Take
you,
care.
doctor.
He loves you.
Back
He
and
loves you. He
I
loves
more.
you.
know.
Kisses.
I love him
I
too.
do. Yeah, she know
Well,
I
take
do. I
care.
do. I love
Have a good
her.
night.
All right. Good night.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Boy, Susan, we just love Dr. Janet Seabrook. She is
That was
just so
awesome.
amazing. That
Awesome.
is
Awesome.
amazing. I just love her. She's so down to earth, easy to talk to, and just makes it where people can understand what they're doing and
Absolutely.
all of that. You know what
And
I'm
it
saying?
helps.
Yeah.
It
So
helps. It
yeah,
helps. Thank
absolutely. It
you.
really does.
Thank
Y'all,
you.
my pleasure. You did a good job. I tell people the one thing I love about the Real Chat Daddy show is, honey, all of this is off the fly. We have technical difficulties. We have all kind of whatever, and we just go. We roll with it, baby. That's
Just
what we
like
do on this
big
show.
budget.
Right,
Don't even
right.
trip.
Look, we just like any of your regular news
Yep.
shows. We just have to be ghetto fabulous on this
That's all
show.
right. That's all
But we
right.
make it work, baby. That's
Make
what
it
we
work. Absolutely.
absolutely. So coming up on the Wednesday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show, my good brother from another mother, the one and only Mr. Chris Bass will be here tomorrow night. He and I will talk about Last Dance. Everybody has been viewing The Last Dance for the last couple of weekends. The story of Michael Jordan and the winning Chicago Bulls team. So Chris Bass and I'll cover that, as
Awesome.
well as we'll talk about men and dating when it comes to COVID. I know a lot of women are concerned and worried about whether or not they'll ever date again. How do they tell a guy, we need to get tested, you need to get tested, all of that. Well, tomorrow night, Chris Bates and I are going to talk about what men are thinking about dating in COVID now. Like, is that your real boobies? And have you been tested for COVID? Is that your real hair? And have you been tested for COVID? Are you horny? Have you been tested for
Oh my
COVID? That
God.
type of, yeah, that type of, that's what you got to find out from people, right? You know what I'm saying? Same way, you want to make sure he does not have ED, but has he been checked for COVID, right, Susan? Right? Right?
I'll let you have that one.
Yeah, I'm just gonna tell you. All right, and then also tomorrow night, one of our favorite mixologists will stop by. Sherry Bradley, the creator of Spirits, will be taking us tomorrow night on a tequila flight. And so
Nice.
she'll be teaching us about all the various tequilas, how you drink them, how they're made, all of that great stuff, as well as she's gonna have a very special holiday cocktail for the
Nice.
Memorial Day weekend. Yes, absolutely. So, Susan, so earlier you were talking about your wonderful event that you're doing to help people in this industry. Give them how they can get in touch with you to be able to tell us about it again, and then how they can get in touch with you. And then I'm going to tell you about my event that's coming up as well,
Oh,
too.
perfect. I'm interested in that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this was called a stimulus package for our creatives. And I can be found on Chicago to LA Films on Instagram. It is an open and public page. If you have messages that you want to send me, just shoot those to me and I'll answer those as much as I can. But for all of my artists that needed a little help or direction, I'm providing services to do coverage for short films, for feature films, and for like TV, web series, things of that nature. And any type of readings or table reads that you want to do. I just did another one with a whole lot of our colleagues from Chicago as well last week. But I'll do that with you as well, tell you what to set up, how to set it up. And we can go over pricing. It's affordable, and you just go ahead and cash at me. For those that know me personally, they probably just send me a text because we'll do FaceTime if you're our iPhone user. And for everybody else, I do the video IG connections so that you can see my face and we can talk, and it'll be a little bit more personal for you. And or we can request to do a Zoom meeting. So
Mm,
it's going well. I probably have
yeah.
another week or so that I can do this because, I always like to take time and write my notes and read everybody's information. I just finished one yesterday with a young man actually from Indiana, a young writer. So, and hoping everybody stays on point and not get lost in this, that we don't stay creative in our passions. So that's me, Chicago to LA Films on
Yeah.
Instagram. Yay.
Yay. Well, Susan, you and I were both talking earlier before we bring our next guest on that I have a wonderful event for anybody who is a book author, anybody who has a product or a brand they want to sell or an item they want to sell. As you guys all know, I've spent 26 years in the media business and the number three market in the country in Chicago,
Yes, sir.
radio, television, and newspaper. And so I'm going to do a
I'm gonna drink
one-on-one,
to that. Cheers.
thank you, darling, a one-on-one coaching session of what does it take to get you booked on national television shows? What does it take to get you booked in various platforms of conferences and things like that? And so I want to take people who are just everyday regular people who have really great things that they want to share with the world. I interview amazing people all the time, but if they are able to just bump up what they do just 20% more than what they offer now, they would end up on shows like Good Morning America, The Today Show, Windy City Live, any of those shows where you're looking to try to make an impact connect and want people to pay attention to you, and you may not have the money for a publicist or a coach or a trainer, I'm going to do a one-on-one session to help people to be able to move their brand to the next level during this global pandemic. Because, see, here's the deal. If you notice all of these people that are being interviewed on these shows now every
Mhm.
morning, these are everyday regular people in their
They
home.
are.
You're
They
looking
are.
inside of these people's homes. These are these people's kitchens. This is their children
Yep.
helping them. They're in there with the dog running around, all of that. So let our
Exactly.
chat daddy Sims be able to tell you what you need to do, how you need to elevate your game, and how we can get you on Good Morning America cooking or Good Morning
Absolutely.
America talking about mental health or whatever the case may be. So that's coming in mid to late June, and it'll be more information about Chat Daddy gives you the business, baby. I'm gonna tell you how it
Excellent.
works. Yes, give you the business, and that's how it all works. So, all right. So, keep your eyes and
Excellent.
ears out. Yes, keep your eyes and ears out, ladies and gentlemen, for that. And then, we got some wonderful comments from everybody.
Yeah.
Yay! Very nice. All right. Well, our last guest this evening is one of my good buddies. I appreciate whenever he's able to take time out of his busy schedule to hang out with us. He is the recent winner of an awards in culinary excellence from the National Black Chefs Association. He is also a former contestant on the Food Network show Cutthroat Kitchen.
Mm.
He is a bodybuilder. He an Iron Man. He look. He a giant. He the nicest dude. He the nicest dude you ever want to meet. Susan, I don't know if you've ever met Chef Laventino Harris before, but ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and welcome one of our favorite chefs, Chef Laventino Harris.
Hello,
What up,
hello,
brother?
What's
hello.
up?
Welcome
How's
to
it
How
the
you
going,
doing?
show.
man? What's
Good.
going
How you
on?
doing? Good. So can you hear us? Okay.
Are we
Oh yeah,
sounding out? Okay,
I can hear you
good,
real
Oh,
good.
good, good,
okay,
good.
good. Chef, we are so honored to have you here tonight. Memorial Day weekend is coming up,
Yeah.
and every year you always help us to just get our holiday started off right. I guess the first thing I want to talk about is the fact that meat is high as hell right now. I was in a grocery store today, and I'm not gonna lie to you. A little old white lady and I was looking at a package of meat. She turned to me. Now we wasn't social distancing. We should have been doing that. But she and I looked at that package of meat, and she turned to me and she said, "What the hell? How much is that?" And so,
Wow.
yes, we meat eaters want to be able to celebrate the holiday. But are there some cheaper cuts of meat that we can do or cook and have the same quality?
Well, there are. I mean, of course, there are the various kinds of meats that you can buy, but right now, like you said, everything is abnormally high. I would definitely stick to the choice cuts of meat. They're your cheapest brands of meat, and you won't necessarily get the grade A choice, quality, but you can still enjoy it. I would highly recommend also at this time as well to shop at some of your meat packing companies,
Agreed.
like Whittingham Meats, which is located in Allsup down off 127th and I want to say Kedzie in that area. Getting your meat from places like that will assure you that you're getting a good quality meat. You're not getting hormone injected meats or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds
Chef,
so scary. Oh my God, hormone injected.
well,
Uh,
really, I mean, it is the case. Chef, have you experimented at all in the plant-based meat products, and do you like them? Have you tried them? What is your take on the plant-based meat products?
The way I feel about it, honestly, if you're going to focus on trying to get away from something you don't want to consume, you don't even want to try to even have the taste in your mouth. Um, it's all still processed, and a lot of people are saying, oh, well, I really don't care to have the meats and things like that because you don't know what they're putting in it. You really don't know what they're putting all inside of these processed non-meat products either. By law, they only have to put so many different things on the label in order for them to pass it through. So they don't have to tell you exactly everything they put in it. I'd rather just know that I'm eating chicken.
Got it. Got it.
Point blank. Susan, do you have a question for the chef?
I do, simply because I don't eat certain meats. I don't eat beef or pork or lamb. So when you speak about chicken, when you talked about the hormone injected, is it better to get the organic chicken? I'm seeing a lot of that in stores now, more so than I ever have. I don't know if it's Purdue that makes it. I don't want to, throw out brand names, but just
Right.
curious, like, for people that don't eat, because I am one of those people that will consume a Beyond Burger or Impossible Burger. And
Okay.
I've heard different things about it, like, oh, it's estrogen or it's whatever is in it.
Right.
So,
Right. I would definitely say again, that's where I learn a whole lot about meat when I go shop at Whittingham. I've been shopping with Whittingham since I opened up a restaurant back in also some years back. And I just constantly go to them because I'm used to them. I know that they get products that are non-GMO. They don't have anything where there's steroid injections or anything like that. Their chickens actually look like chickens. Anytime you can go into a store and purchase a chicken breast that's about the size of my forearm, come on now. I grew up with folks from the South. My folks are from the South, Mississippi and other places. And so I've seen chickens running around and things like that. And I've never seen anything that looked like the Incredible Hulk gave it something and
yes,
transformed it into
yes,
something else.
yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's just, I think now too, with all of this that's going on, we got to be so careful with what we're eating. I think there are
Yes.
a couple of meat plants that actually closed because of this.
Yeah.
So,
Chef Lavatino, we actually have a couple of questions from the audience tonight. Booker T wants to know what determines the grade of a meat.
Well, the quality of the meat and the USDA, they all have people that they actually send out to these different companies that slaughter the animals for for our consumption, and each one has to go through. These inspectors are in this bill in these facilities all day, every day, because that's how much they're producing on a daily basis, and they go in and give it the grade A, the choice cut. So the higher in quality of meat, the higher the grade is. And there are some places you can go where you can get a certain type of meat. You will not, perfect example, you're not going to find Wagyu beef in any store that I've run into, whether it's Mariano's, a Treasure Island, Whole Foods, or anything like that. I have not seen a grade A Wagyu beef. One is ridiculously expensive. It's amazing in taste. I mean, the meat basically melts in your mouth. It's amazing.
wow.
But so they have these people that go to these plants every single day. They're there 24/7, and they're inspecting all the meats and they're grading the meats.
hmm Chef, we have another question. Someone, LaShawn, wants to know what about holla chicken? Is that a higher quality? Holla!
Hey, Michelle.
Anytime you holla, yeah,
Hello.
holla.
I don't have a whole lot of experience with it. I've had it a bit in New York, and it definitely is a different taste. It definitely, let me say this, it does taste like chicken, because there are some places where you can go and get food from. I won't say where, but they'll say it's chicken, and then you're like, this don't taste like no chicken I never had
Exactly.
before. you
Exactly.
know, but it is said that it is raised cage free and everything. Again, I don't have an extensive background in it, but I've heard that it is raised cage free, which allows the chicken to roam and eat freely without actually being in cages on top of one another, which
Mhm,
we all know is bad.
Yes,
mhm.
absolutely. Wow.
Very good. So now, Chef, how does one set up to barbecue perfectly? I know some people they put the charcoals in, start the grill, big old blaze, smoke, all of that. What is really the way you should barbecue. See, I always thought once you had all that flame and smoke, you was really barbecuing. But I guess that's not the way. So how would we set up a grill properly to be able to get the best barbecuing experience?
Well, your grill should always be so many inches from your charcoal. What a lot of people tend to do is they'll just take the charcoal and they'll throw it all into the, barbecue grill. And like you said, they'll set it ablaze and they're like, yeah, we're about to get it going. Yeah, you're about to get it going. All right. 9 times out of 10, they end up burning a lot of their food. A lot of people don't wait until it actually heats all the way through. You got to give the coal enough time to heat all the way through so that it is that kind of ashy but burning red. So now you can actually put your meat on top. Um, the way I do mine is I'll put charcoal because I have a huge grill master. So I'll put charcoal all the way to one side in a pile. I'll light it and I'll let it go for about a good 10, 15 minutes until it's all the way through and it's red and ready to go. Then I'll either gently spread it out across the bottom to where it's really distant from the actual grill because I don't want to burn my meat, fish, or whatever it is that I'm grilling. Or I'll take it and I'll just leave it on one side. Now that's my heat side. So now I want to get a nice char. I want to get some nice grill marks. I'll throw it on that side for a few seconds, turn it here, turn it there, get my grill marks, and then I'll move it to the non-heat side and just let the heat and the smoke from inside the grill just go ahead and cook my meat.
That's a whole lesson. Man, thank you.
Well, I mean, come on now. You want to know? Because Susan, are you a griller?
I used to, and I stopped because, just with moving and transitioning. So I'm planning to get back into it. But my thing would probably be the fish and the chicken and turkey burgers and stuff like that. So,
Definitely.
Right.
yeah.
Very good.
Good
Very
to
good.
know. Do you use
Well,
any of the, what do they call, like the smoky flavored chips and all that when you're grilling too?
I do sometimes. I have like right now, one of my biggest sponsors is Jealous Devil Lump Charcoal, and it's a natural wood charcoal that burns. It's purer than heaven, hotter than hell, as they're saying,
Nice.
and it's absolutely amazing. I've actually gone 13 hours. I want to say 12 to 13 hours grilling off that charcoal by itself. And
Wow.
I use the apple wood, I'll use the cherry, I'll use the hickory and things like that. And what I'll do is I'll just take a little, I have this little cylinder, a metal cylinder that I'll put them in and I'll sit that right next to the charcoal so that as it heats up, it smokes the little wood chips inside it, giving it that extra smoky flavor.
Very nice. Do you
Wow.
also use a smoker as well for stuff?
A smoker? Oh yes, I have a wonderful Daniel Boone Green Mountain smoker.
Nice.
It's probably like at least the value of it is about $800. I
Oh,
actually
okay.
won it. I won it on an Instagram competition, and it is absolutely amazing. It has the little digital thing. I got the little app on my phone. I can sit in the front room, watch my
Nice.
sports, look at the thing like, oh, temperature's ready.
Oh wow, barbecuing
It's
has come a
amazing.
long way, baby.
Yeah,
Barbecuing has
No?
come a
Oh my
long way.
God. So what are
yeah.
you
Wow.
cooking for the holiday? What are you grilling?
Well, I did a lot of grilling for Mother's Day. I may not do much this time. I think I might want to try to run out, grab me a couple of ribeyes. I might do a couple of T-bones. I definitely more likely will do some grilled turkey. But I love grilled turkey burgers.
I
Love
do
making my
That's
too.
my
own.
favorite. That's
I
my
do
favorite.
too.
The folks out at Whittingham, they do an all white ground turkey that they do themselves. Oh my God, the flavor is absolutely amazing.
Nice. Very
Mm.
nice.
So,
Thank you.
Chef, I wanted to find out what are the hottest side dishes this holiday season. Last year, we talked quite a bit about Brussels sprouts. I've noticed that asparagus is back trendy again.
Yes.
So, can you help us with a side dish or two that we're able to figure out what we want to put on our grill this year,
Yeah,
or
man.
yeah, make our barbecue?
Amazingly, Brussels sprouts haven't gone anywhere. People are still doing Brussels sprouts. They're still grilling them. And one of the things I recognize that they're doing with Brussels sprouts is they'll steam them a little bit, and then they'll go ahead and put them on the grill, get that smoke to them. Once they remove them, they'll take them, they'll toss them in a balsamic glaze, add some fresh red onions and some fresh bacon crumbles. Oh my God. I mean, it's just like, it's amazing. You got that crunch, you got that smoky flavor, you got that sweet from the balsamic glaze, the sweet from the red onion, and it's amazing. With the asparagus, going with white asparagus, green asparagus, it's you just coat it with a little bit of oil, salt, some pepper, throw it on the grill for a few minutes, on the side that's not hot. You don't want to turn around and you got little charred sticks of what's supposed to be asparagus on your grill, you know. And
Right, right.
once they're finished, and you take them off, hit them with a little bit of lemon juice, some lemon zest, and sprinkle a little bit of Parmesan. Man, it's just amazing.
I'm so hungry right now.
Very good. Chef, we have a couple of questions. Marianne Alder wants to know more about grilled vegetables. Are there some other things that you can put on the grill that she would enjoy?
Nowadays, literally, you can put anything on the
Anything.
grill.
Yep.
Now, I mean, from vine tomatoes, I love vine tomatoes off the grill. They hold up really, really well. They take the smoke flavor in really good. You have the yellow squash, zucchini, butternut squash that you can throw on the grill. You have people doing all types of vegetable skewers now. Again, using the balsamic glaze, which goes pretty good with some of everything nowadays that you pull off the grill. People are doing all types of fruit off the grill still, the
Pineapples.
watermelon, the pineapple, the peaches, the pears, and everything. I think I'm going to experiment with doing strawberries because I want to try to do a lemon blueberries cheesecake stuffed strawberry that I'm going to turn around and dip in chocolate.
Ooh,
So,
Lord, Jesus, Lord, fix it, Jesus, fix it. Oh my God. Look, Susan. Right. Oh
Oh, look, I'm gonna fall
my
out
God.
my chair. Oh my
That
God. You
sounds,
know what? When I come to Chicago, Art, we gonna call him. So,
I knew you was gonna
hey,
say that.
absolutely.
I knew you was
man.
gonna say that. I did. Marianne Alder also has a question, Chef, about grilled corn. Is there some tricks that we can do to make that grilled corn come out perfect, or what about add different flavor to that grilled corn?
You can definitely, with the corn, what I like to do with mine is I always go back to the first time of having the corn from the Mexican man on the corner. So
We
I'll take
love
my
this.
corn and I'll do it. Sometimes I'll leave it in the husk, of course, peeling it back a little bit so that the smoke actually gets in there. And then what I like to do is I'll take some paprika, some garlic powder, a little bit of onion powder, a little bit of cayenne, and then just take that butter, melt it over it, a little bit of lemon juice, and just devour it just like that. You
Hmm.
know. But then there's all other
Amazing.
kinds of things you can do with it. I mean, if you don't like all that extra, work with flavors that you know and that you're used to, and just keep it simple. You don't have to try to
That's
go
right.
all extravagant because some things definitely that I'll do to mine, the average person won't do to theirs.
Hmm.
I'll put mine on the grill with a little bit of Hennessy just to see how it tastes. you know,
That's
Little,
what's
a
up.
little Hennessy
just a
corn.
little bit. It's like, hey, let's
That
see how this
That's
come
what's
out a little
up.
bit.
look,
Yeah.
that's grown folks caramel corn.
Right.
When you soak your Hennessy your corn in
And the
Hennessy.
Hennessy.
Woo
Yeah, I'm
woo,
down for
man.
that. I'm down for that.
Chef, we
I'm
have
down
another
for that.
question for you. Coach Mario Kuntz wants to know propane or charcoal. Which one is better, Chef?
I am a charcoal chef all day long. I don't like propane. I mean, it's not going to give you that same barbecue flavor. You're not going to get that smokiness that you're looking for and everything unless you add liquid smoke. I don't believe in liquid smoke. I
Mhm.
mean, a lot of people stand by it. They put it in some of everything. More power to them. I don't knock them. It's just not something I do. I want 100% grilled food.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
Charcoal. Stick to the charcoal.
Okay, very
Nice.
good, Chef. We have one more question for you. LaShawn said, please warn folks not to add lighter fluid while they're grilling. Actual taste lighter fluid on her turkey leg. What so, so what should we do about that? Because I've been there, done that. I didn't taste people
Yep.
food, and I said this tastes like match light.
The
Your ribs
problem
taste
that they're
like match
having
light.
is,
God.
but this is what they're doing wrong. They're not allowing the charcoal to get on. Here's a trick. One of the things you do is you soak your wood, your charcoal, whatever you're using, in lighter fluid for at least 15 minutes before you light it. Allow it an opportunity to soak into it real good, and then you go ahead and you light it. Now, when you light it, you have to give it enough time again to burn off. Not only burn off, you need to give it time to get that coal hot. Again, it should look like ashes. It should look like ain't nobody put no lotion on. Not, so, and that it should be bright red, so nice and bright red, ashy looking and everything. You won't have to throw more lighter fluid on it. I've seen people do that all the time. I'm like, oh my God, okay, I'm not gonna eat their food.
Right.
It's just you don't want to taste that.
Okay, all right, very good. Chef, you said you actually gonna do a couple of steaks this holiday weekend, huh?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna go ahead and hit a couple of ribeyes up. Ribeye is my favorite cut anyway. I can eat
Mhm.
ribeyes and tomahawks like all day long. But I might do a couple of ribeyes, a couple of New York strips, and maybe a couple T-bones.
Mhm.
Just something simple.
Very
Um,
nice.
I know last time I did lobster tails, I had lobster tails, salmon,
Ooh.
and everything
See,
right on the grill.
that's
You
my
know,
menu.
asparagus and
Chef,
everything. I haven't even posted the pictures yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and post them tonight now since we're talking about
boy, Chef, you
barbecue.
get plenty of questions. Marianne Alder wants to know, what about when you preparing salmon on the grill? How can we do that and make it stays tender and juicy and not overcooked?
Well, the thing with the salmon, like I do with mine, I'll go ahead and season. I take an extra light olive oil and I'll coat the whole thing front and back. I love to have the salmon with the skin on.
Mm.
So if you're going to grill, get the salmon with the skin on because now what you can do, I lay my salmon flat out on the grill, skin side down. I want to get my skin. I love the crunch of that salmon skin, so I lay it down on my close to my hot side. Lay it down there for a few minutes, maybe at 3 o'clock, and then I turn around and turn it to 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and pull it off. Um, when I pull it off, I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to put it on the side where the coal is not. So now it's just going to continue to cook. The skin is going to stay crispy and it's going to hold together. The thing is, leave it there. I see so many people put stuff on the grill. They want to start scraping and moving. You're going to tear it up. It's going to fall between the things, and now you ain't got nothing but burn up
Yeah.
fish. Leave it alone.
Mhm.
Just leave it be.
Right,
A
right.
good fish, a good salmon, probably I would say, they get them. You can get them by the pounds now. Um, I say a good 2 to 3 pound salmon would take about 12 minutes on the grill.
Okay.
That's it.
hmm
Don't
hmm
overcook it. Pull it off. As it sits, it's going to continue to carry over cooking another 3 to 5 degrees.
Yeah.
It'll stay nice and juicy. Like I always say, let your meat rest. No matter what way you're cooking it, when you pull it off the stove, off the grill, out the smoker, let it rest for at least 8 to 10 minutes, giving all those juices the opportunity to go back to its original places. So now when you cut into it, it's juicy. You got all that flavor. Some people they go and they cut right away, and all the juices all over the plate. They're like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, it's juicy." Yeah, it's dry too now because all your juices on that
Just
plate.
ran out. Yep.
Exactly. You got to give it time to go back to its natural position.
All right. Well, for those of you all that are just joining us and may think that we're talking about sex, no, we're actually talking about
I
grilling
saw that
for the. I
coming.
know, I know, right? We're talking about grilling for the Memorial Day
They just
weekend.
hear us keeping it
Right,
juicy and
right,
everything
right,
when they get
right,
excited.
right. I'm like, I'm like,
Good
okay.
conversation.
I'm like, keep it juicy. I'm like,
Right.
okay. We're talking about grilling for your holiday
Oh my
season.
God.
Our special guest tonight is Chef Laventino Harris, award-winning chef, as well as reality cooking show competition contestant, and all-around great guy. He has a really wonderful brand that he promotes all the time. Chef, we just had somebody that said love grilling salmon, salmon anyway, actually, and people are loving that to no end. Chef
Yeah.
Laventino Harris, tell everybody how they can find you, follow you, all of that. It's so funny. Look, somebody talking about I was getting excited. Yeah, right. I was like, boy, he was explaining that like nobody business. But Chef, please tell us how we can find you, follow you, all of that. I need a drink.
So right now, I'm focused heavily on Instagram right now. So it's
Yeah.
cheflevatino.truepassion at Instagram. I can be reached at 773-593 chef, which is 2433. I can also be Googled. You Google me, all kinds of stuff will pop up. I've done many things, but all glory to God in that because it's truly a
Amen.
blessing.
Amen.
But yeah, I'm definitely, and I'm hitting Instagram hard because I want to push my True Passion brand.
That's smart.
I have my knives that I released just last year, so I'm still pushing hard for that. I'm getting ready to push my hats, my aprons, my chef coats, and everything. I'm not a one-dimensional chef. I want several streams of income coming in. So
Very nice.
Yeah,
Very
very
nice.
nice, very
Chef
nice.
Levitino
Well,
on Instagram.
yes, it's Chef Levatino dot True Passion.
Got it. True. The
very
whole word
good.
spelled out.
Yep, True
Yes, sir.
Passion.
Well, Chef, thank you so much for taking time out of your very busy schedule. It's a pleasure having you on my new platform.
Always.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
I
you.
know
Thank
you'll
you.
come back and help us again. You always do a great job when you're on the show. God
Thank you.
bless you and the family.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
we look, and as Mary Ann was saying, as we all say, let your
Let
meat
your
rest.
meat
Let
rest.
your
Yes.
let your meat rest.
Yes.
That's right. Let it
Even when
rest.
you frying that
Right.
chicken, let it rest afterwards.
Yes, let your meat rest. So when they finally do open churches back up, remember when you go in, turn to your neighbor and say, "Let your meat rest." Right, and they'll know it came from Chat Daddy Show. They'll know. Chef, God bless you. Thank you so much, Susan. Didn't he do a great job?
He did a fantastic job. Thank you so
Thank
much for
you. Thank
joining
you.
us.
Yes. Thank you, Chef
Absolutely.
Always a
Laventino.
pleasure, sir.
All right. Have a great weekend. Thanks again.
You
All
too.
right. Good night. All right. Yay. Chef Laventino Harris. He
Very
did a
nice.
great
I'm
job.
hungry.
He really did. I am too. And look, let your meat rest. Right.
Rest.
That's right. You got to always let your meat rest. All right, Susan, we come to the end of yet another amazing show. It's so funny. This show goes over every night. The numbers are steady building on this show. But guess what?
Good.
I enjoy doing this show. I enjoy all of my co-hosts, all of my guests. So again, tell everybody how they can your closing thoughts about tonight's show and did you enjoy yourself? And then
I
tell us how we can
did.
find you and follow you again.
Thank you so much again for having me. It's always a pleasure being in your presence,
Thank you.
virtually now. So this is our
Yeah, I
new way of
know. This is
communication.
my new way of doing it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
congratulations to you in doing this. I
Thank
know
you.
you have
Thank
a
you.
humongous following, so I knew that from being in Chicago. So
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I think everybody did a great job. I loved all the information from Dr. Seabrook as well as Chef Levatino. I hope I could have provided something that somebody needed. That's always the goal for us to continue to encourage and inspire. Um, and again, just I'm like Chef. I'm on Instagram a lot. So Chicago, the number 2, LA Films, and I'll pop up, message me. Let's just chat. Let's chat.
Yeah. Let's chat. Well, do me a huge favor. Give Tyler Perry a big old hug. We are just
You don't
so
want to touch
honored.
us right
I,
now.
I know, but just high five, whatever, to let him know we really do appreciate him for just being a great man, stellar, and just doing things to keep people alive, working, healthy, all of that. And just let Tyler Perry know we love him to no end.
I
All right.
appreciate that. I
Yeah.
shall deliver that message. Thank you
All
so
right.
much. Continued success to you. You know, I'll check on you at some point this month
Yeah.
and we'll go
Yeah.
from there. So
Yes.
happy Memorial Day.
Happy Memorial Day, my love. Thank you so very much. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of yet another episode of the Real Chat Daddy Show, coming to you live right here via Facebook. Don't forget, there are preempted, or not preempted, encore shows. Now, we're not preempted, we're live. You guys can always go to YouTube. I ask that you please subscribe to my YouTube page. The more people who subscribe to the YouTube page, the better it helps. It is the Real Chat Daddy Show on YouTube. Again, that's the Real Chat Daddy Show on YouTube. Really easy and simple for you guys to do that. Don't forget, my website is therealchatdaddy.com. Again, therealchatdaddy.com is my website. If you guys would be so benevolent and would like to tip the show, I would greatly appreciate you. You can do that via Cash App. It's very easy and simple to do. We're still getting a lot of feedback from our viewers tonight. We really
Thank
do
you so
appreciate you
much.
guys. So we really do. We really. So, Susan, that means you'll have to come back as a co-host. I
I
know.
definitely
I
will.
know Tyler Perry gonna have you on lockdown, but you'll have to definitely come back as a
I
co-host.
definitely will. You know, I
I
love you. So whatever you
Oh,
ask me,
I
I'm
love
in.
you too. I do, darling. I do. Well, thank you guys so very much. Remember to stay safe, stay healthy. God bless you all. I'll see you tomorrow night for the Wednesday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. Boy, the comments are still coming in. Yay. We love you guys. We do. I
Thank
appreciate you
you. Thank
guys. Make,
you.
make sure you guys tell everybody to please continue to support the Real Chat Daddy Show and all the things that I'm doing on here. Oh, thank you
Thank
guys.
you,
This is really
LaShawn.
wonderful. Oh, this
Oh
is
my gosh.
wonderful. Yes. Oh, thank you
Thank you
all.
so
We
much.
really, it was a good show tonight. We even went over 10 minutes more. All right. On behalf of Susan and myself, God bless you all. Have a great night.
Stay safe.
Thank you. Stay safe. I love you all, and we'll talk to you tomorrow night.
God bless.
Bye. All right, we out of here. Yay.